Hello scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back today with a fun little school memories hop that I am doing with Christina Sorge and a bunch of other YouTube friends. So here you can see I am cutting down photos of my kids from the first day of school, which actually for us was August 27th, so it was about 2 weeks ago almost, and I am going to be doing a 2-page spread for this one. I had a ton of photos and I loved them all, and so I wanted to use all of them. So what I did was I went on to Pinterest and I picked out a 2-page sketch, and you will have seen that before the video started. So here I'm just going to cut down a couple of these photos a little bit more. So I think this one of Jonas is about a 3x5. It might be a little bit bigger than that. But I am auditioning different pattern papers behind it. I liked this blue paper, but the photo didn't really stand out because there was a lot of green in it and it was a darker blue. So I decided to go with this yellow polka dotted paper, and I believe that's a My Mind's Eye paper from a long time ago. So you can see that I have that photo all what am I doing? Sorry, it's late at night. It's been a long week at work. So I have that photo all matted, and now here I am going to consider matting these 2 smaller photos, but then I decide against it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this Happy Camper paper, and I'm just going to cut a strip that's about 2.5 to 3 inches wide, I believe, and then this one, this red diagonal, I'm just going to rip. And I really like the way that looks, and I kind of got that idea from the sketch. I didn't really like the wavy look on the sketch though, so that's why I decided to rip the paper instead. Here I'm auditioning other pattern papers, other colors, because I thought maybe I wanted a color to go between the red and the blue, but essentially I decided I didn't like that. Now here I'm bringing in that second page again, and I'm going to cut down that second photo, or that first photo of just Brennan by himself. I wanted it to be cropped in a little bit more, and here I'm trying to figure out if I want to cut down these other photos more, add, you know, a mat behind them. Ultimately, I'm going to go with just matting the 2 3x5 photos. The one of Jonas and then the one of Brennan and Tinian together on the second page. Then I'm going to consult a friend, my friend Daisy, and she's going to tell me that it looks kind of silly without matting all the photos, and I'm glad that she told me that. So yeah, I kind of jumped ahead there though. Here you can see I'm just kind of playing around with placement of these numbers and those sunglass embellishments. And then I'm going to bring in another strip of this red paper. I kind of had a trouble with this layout on this first night that I was making it, and so I kept consulting Daisy, being like, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? And she said I should move that paper, the red paper on the left hand layout, to the other side of the blue. And I was like, oh, I love that. So I did that, cut this piece down to a smaller size, and I'm going to end up gluing all of this down. And you can also see that all my photos are matted as well here. Now I'm going to start on the title, and I pull out a ton of different alphabets and fonts and things, and essentially I go with this one from Amy Tan, and it's very tall and skinny, and I really love that, and I think it works perfect. The black just pops off the white of that page and it stands out, and that's what I wanted for the title. So I'm going to audition a few. I keep saying audition. That sounds so weird. I'm going to try a few of these alphas, but I don't really like them in the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a silhouette cut file that I have, and it just says the word school in kind of a school type font. So I'm going to use that, and I glued it all down off camera. And now I'm going to glue down all of these papers and all of the photos. I'm going to cut all of that out because it seriously is going to take forever. But I'm also going to place down the each one of these numbers, and I'm going to add in some embellishments as well. So my idea with this layout was to use my stash. I didn't want to use anything new. I wanted to stick with old. I think the newest thing on this layout is probably the black alpha and actually probably the word school, because that's a cut file that I've gotten recently. Well, not super recently, but within the last 5 years. So here you can see I'm gluing down these photos on this first layout, and just got to get those positioned right. And you can see also that I am using it's an ATG refill, but it like came apart, and so I'm having to use it without being in my actual ATG gun, which is so super weird and awkward. So it seriously took forever to make this layout because I'm such a cheapskate and I can't just throw away that glue. I have to use it up. So here you can see I'm going to start bringing in some of the embellishments, and these arrows that are to the right are from Studio Calico, I believe. They're from an old collection. I am going to pull off one of the arrows and I'm going to point to the number 8. The glue that I used did not want to work, and so I am going to end up using a different glue, and that's just what I'm doing there. Is I was putting on some more glue behind that number 8. Now I'm going to glue down the word school, and then I think I'm going to put down the rest of the title and glue down the other photos on the other side. So I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so now here you can see I have everything glued down except for the full title, and I am just working on gluing down these cute little sunglasses that I'm going to add to this number 7 up there. And I'm also going to add this, what is that? It's a cork piece, and that is also from a super duper old Studio Calico kit, probably from back in 2013 or 14. Then I'm going to start adding some of these puffy sticker stars in each one of the number clusters, and I really love how these how the clusters turn out on this layout. I kept this layout so super simple. For some reason I cannot find my school themed stash, so that's the reason why this layout turned out the way it did, because I have no idea what I did with all of my school themed ephemera and paper and all of that. So yeah, I'm afraid I might have just given it all away or something, because I did do a huge de-stash last year and I kind of went absolutely crazy with my scrappy stuff. I totally donated half of it. But anyway, here you can see I put down the title and I'm adding a couple more arrows, and I'm really liking how this is turning out. It is super simple. Even for me, it is super simple. But I just really love it. I love how it's photo focused. I have so many photos. I think it's, what, 9 photos on this layout? Like, how many people do 9 photo layouts? You know, like, and yes, it is a double page spread, but how many people these days do you see making 2-page spreads and 9 photo layouts? Like, this layout makes me so happy because it tells the story of their first day of school. I'm going to do my journaling. I think I'm going to type it out is what I've decided. And I'm gonna put it on the first page of this 2-page spread, and I'm gonna put it on the blue part, and I think I'm gonna cut it into strips and just kind of do the journaling about the first day of school. So I did have this acrylic piece in my stash, and I've had it for probably, gosh, I want to say a year. It might not have been that long. I might have gotten it in January. I can't remember when I got it, but it says, "Oh yes." And that top half of the first page is looking pretty bare. And I did put up some stars up there in that top left-hand corner, but I'm actually going to take those off. They just didn't match the other stars that I used. And so I'm going to end up taking them off, and I love what I end up putting up there. But I do decide to glue down this "Oh yes" to be part of the title. Oh yes, first day of school. You know, kind of like, yay, mom is so excited to have the kids go back to school. Because I don't know about your kids, but mine are always fighting like a month in. And it's like the minute August hit, it got worse. And they were literally fighting every 5 seconds of the day. So it was nice that I got a job and didn't have to be around them all day, every day. Anyway, so I think I'm off. I'm not sure what I'm doing, so I apologize. I thought I took this out. Okay, so now is where I am going to realize, okay, I really don't like those stars up there in that top left-hand corner. So I pull them off, and I think maybe I should add this cork piece up there. Doesn't work out. I don't really like it, so I'm going to actually add it here to the title cluster. And it does have an anchor on it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it up with that arrow, and then I think a star, a green star. So I'm going to glue the arrow down with some liquid adhesive, because I did, when I pulled it up off of the background, it did pull off the sticky part. So I did have to add some liquid glue. Now I'm going to, I did have to pull up some of the paper, the white paper up there in the top left-hand corner. So I'm going to add 2 banners up there, one in the blue pattern paper and then one in the red pattern paper. And then I think that's pretty much it for this layout. I do try to add a couple more embellishment pieces, but it doesn't work out. Again, I did want to stay true to this being a full deep dive stash layout. So it's all older products mainly, except for that acrylic piece and the first day of school alpha. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you head on over to all of the other ladies videos, and I will make sure to leave links below so that you can find those easily. There are a bunch of us, and you don't want to miss out on any of these videos. I've seen a few of the layouts, and they're just amazing as always. I love YouTube and the difference in all of our layouts, because they definitely all turn out differently. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great scrappy day. Bye!